is coverage you can count on. WGAL News 8 Today starts now.
It is 4:30 on this Thursday morning. Good morning, I'm Matt Parker.
And I'm Regina. We do have Chief Meteorologist Christine Ferreira here, and Christine Burr.
Yeah,
Good morning.
What a change.
Yeah.
It is a refreshing change.
It is. Yeah, it is.
Let me show you what we have outside right now, because temperatures are on the chilly side. We have clear skies and calm winds, high pressure in control, and that's what's going to give you the coolest readings this morning, especially where those winds are calm. So here's our Storm Team Live Radar Network, and it is dry as a bone out there. It's really comfortable humidity-wise, but temperatures, because of the dryness, have dropped into the 40s in many spots. It's 49 in Lancaster, 46 in Lebanon, 45 degrees in Lewistown, and there's your dry air with dew points in the 30s in Lebanon and around 40 elsewhere. 12-hour forecast, that dry air does heat up quickly, so although we'll be in the 40s this morning, we'll pop up to the 70 mark this afternoon. It's going to be a warm one. Some spots, though, especially north, might not get out of the upper 60s, so our coolest day of the week. If you prefer warmer weather, just wait a couple of days. I'll show you that coming up in the 10-day.
All right, thanks, Christine. Let's start in Washington, taking a live look at the U.S. Capitol as the federal government shutdown now enters its second day, and the impacts are already being felt across the country.
Yes, and the Trump administration says thousands of federal workers could be laid off or furloughed. Many others, like TSA officers at the airport, will work but without pay, and the National Park Service is furloughing about 2/3 of its employees while keeping parks largely open to visitors during the shutdown.
Another vote in the Senate failed yesterday, with each side blaming the other, despite pushes for finding a bipartisan way out. The big sticking point is tax credits for the Affordable Care Act, which have expired. Democrats want to extend them. This morning, we're hearing criticism of those tax credits from Susquehanna Valley Representative Scott Perry. The Republican says the tax credits should not be holding up the Senate from passing a spending plan, because he says the money goes directly to insurance companies feeding their profits.
I've heard that they're going to double, but I'm not sure that that's going to be the case for people at the bottom. Let's make sure that we're not bankrupting the person at, or the couple that's making $80,000 a year so that you can make 230% profit. So I think that there's probably some middle ground there, and I think we'll probably get to that.
We asked Congressman Perry if he would withhold his paycheck during the budget impasse. He said he would. He says he's done it in the past, and he also requested that his paycheck be withheld during the shutdown.
Members of Congress need to, deal with the same issues that their constituents, their bosses deal with. How are you a good representative if you're not living the same life?
Along with Perry, Republican Representatives John Joyce, Stan Muser, and Lloyd Smucker all say they'll also be withholding their pay during the shutdown.
Well, the effects of the federal shutdown will reach Harrisburg in multiple ways. Governor Josh Shapiro says there are about 7,800 positions in state government that are federally funded, and he didn't know yet if the U.S. government would pay back the cost of those positions. There's also concern that some federal workers could be fired. Congressman Lloyd Smucker of Lancaster County says he does have some concerns about trimming the federal workforce like that.
I support right-sizing government, though, and I supported some of the things that DOGE was trying to accomplish. We want to ensure that all of our agencies are working as efficiently as possible, but it shouldn't be done in the context of a shutdown.
And Smucker adds top Trump administration officials want the shutdown ended as quickly as possible, and he thinks Democrats can negotiate a deal on health care policies, but not at the expense of shutting down the U.S. government. Democrats have been skeptical. Republicans will return the negotiating table without the threat of a shutdown. In
about 10 minutes, we'll have some more details on how the shutdown is affecting national park services and airports. In the next half hour, Washington correspondent Rachel Hersheimer will be live with a report on the arguments surrounding Medicaid from both parties.
It's 4:34, and residents are speaking out against two proposed AI data centers in Lancaster. The City Planning Commission heard public comment last night on the two proposed centers set to be built on Greenfield Road and Harrisburg Pike. Community members say they've been left in the dark about much of the planning. One man says he filed an appeal to try and get the city to put more precautions in place before construction starts.
That process will indeed put guardrails on the data center to make sure that they supply their own electricity so that our electricity bills don't go up, to make sure that they manage the noise and the heat and the potential diesel pollution in a way that doesn't affect the neighbors and in fact, the entire area, the entire region.
A city council meeting is set for Monday night at 6 o'clock, and that'll give people another chance to hear from the city about those proposed data centers. News 8 did reach out to the companies building the data centers, but have not heard back.
A federal judge has set a trial date for a Lancaster County businessman charged with securities and wire fraud. Investigators say Daryl Heller defrauded investors in his ATM company, Paramount, out of more than $400 million by operating what investigators and victims say was a Ponzi scheme. Jury selection in the case is officially set for April of next year in Philadelphia before eventually moving to Easton. Heller has pled not guilty.
One man is dead after a house fire in Upper Frankfort Township near Carlisle. The coroner confirms to News 8 that the victim was the homeowner, and state police say he was found dead outside of the home. Firefighters tell us they were called to the scene on Grahamswood Road near Wildwood Road around 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon and were there until about 7:45. They say firefighters from across the county as well as Perry County also responded, and a News 8 viewer sent us this photo here of the smoke, which could be seen from at least a quarter-mile away. No other injuries were reported at this time. No other information has been released on the victim, and state police are investigating.
We are expecting to learn the name of the 31-year-old man York's police say was shot and killed. Police say the shooting happened just before 8 yesterday morning in the area of East Princess and Pattison Streets. York police say 24-year-old Romanus Myers is charged with homicide and say he admitted to shooting the victim. Officers say Myers and the man knew each other.
York police also say a teenager is facing attempted murder charges in connection to a shooting near West Gas Avenue. Officers say the driver of a stolen vehicle shot towards two bicyclists Tuesday afternoon, and police say when they tried to pull him over, he took off, then crashed into a car and into a building. Court documents reveal 18-year-old Jonathan Martin Jr. was arrested along with two other teenagers.